I'm going to kick off the nostalgic games draft with the first pick. And I'm not going to lie, I was pretty calculated with the order we did these drafts in, knowing that I got the first pick here. TG and I have exactly one crossover nostalgia game that I know of. I am taking Warcraft 3.
That was on my list. I swear that was on my list.
I know it was. It's the only game that you and I, like, nostalgic game that you and I have ever played together, and it was lower on my list than first, but I went, I can't leave it. She'll take that shit.
I don't know that I would have taken it first though.
Not
like,
first.
or second. Even.
I don't know when. I'm not trying to find out.
I didn't know when either because, like I said, none of these are like, you know, I don't know. I'm very indecisive of what I want to take first.
Well, it's subjective too, right? Like this is not something we can objectively rate.
I think for my first pick, I am going to go Super Smash Bros.
Okay. So that didn't make my list.
It's strong.
It's I think it's super strong. I think it's super strong. The only reason it didn't make my list is because I think I was a little older when it came out, so it doesn't hit the same nostalgia notes. There are N64 games that do. You're gonna find out, but I don't know. I think that I got into Smash in the later iterations of the game is the only reason it's not on my list. So great pick though. Now I'm going to really age myself with my next pick. I am going to choose for the NES Super Mario Brothers 3. This is
interesting.
Probably
I don't know that game, I don't think.
It's the most emblematic Mario game for anybody my age or a little bit younger. It is. It's the one that introduced the Tanuki suit, the tail, where he can fly, the frog suit, and like the flute and the level skipping and all these things that became. There was level skipping in the first one through pipes, but there was like 3 just kind of took everything and dialed it up and made Mario be able to do so much more. And it's just one of those games that I can still play today. And I go back and I'm like, man, this game was just so excellent, even today.
So I think my second pick might make you laugh, but it's like one that my mom used to play all the time and still does because my mom's not a gamer. But
you about to hit it with Tetris.
Yes! This is my second pick. Tetris.
Bro.
I'm choosing Tetris and taking it off the board.
Bro, no way. It's on my list.
Off the board.
My mom would be so happy. Your mom and my mom. Tetris fiends. Yo, if I had to do a mom pick, I'd have to take like Mahjong for the Game Boy right now. She was into that tile shit, man.
Yeah, exactly. Had to go Tetris. Had to.
Respect to the moms, man. Tetris all day. I'm gonna go far opposite end of the spectrum. We're gonna not respect moms here at all. We're gonna go with Halo 3 here. I gotta go back. That's my shooter. Yeah, I was trying to decide between Modern Warfare, like the original Modern Warfare, and Halo 3 is my like kind of throwback shooter. For what I would consider modern shooters. Halo 3 is the one that when I think of it, like in terms of nostalgia, I remember those moments of like playing with my college roommate and like chilling and like being up late. Like that's definitely the one. Call of Duty we played just as much, probably time-wise, but I don't think I get the same kind of warm fuzzies when I think of it, you know?
I get warm fuzzies when I think of Halo, but I think mine's like the same way with Super Smash Bros. I think like when I was like a teen when I was playing Halo 3.
Sure.
You know, I think young teen, but teen. So yeah, no, that game isn't like, it is nostalgic for me, but maybe not in the same way. Like, but it is by far the best Halo 3 or Halo game. By far the best Halo game in my opinion. So
I think that's fair. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. Great pick. I am going to go for my third pick. Ooh, I am going Pokemon Stadium.
Wow. That is
Is that another crossover?
No, it's not crossover.
No.
I'm shocked. I think that like there's no way I can objectively measure nostalgia, but I would not like this just is not even on my radar as one of the ones I would have thought of. Especially when I am thinking of Pokemon games. But for you, obviously, there's something there.
See, there's another one though that I have on my list. I'm not gonna choose now, but I'll tell you it afterwards because it's like.
Sure. Well, I have no Pokemon games on my list. I have no Pokemon games on my list. So if it's Snap, you can tell me.
It was Snap. It was Snap.
It's great.
Yeah, because that was one that I sat with my family all the time. So like that pick right there was really between Pokemon Snap and Pokemon Stadium.
And that's awesome that your family ties into your reasoning for that. I love that.
Yeah.
For my fourth pick, I'm gonna stick with the same console, and I'm gonna take Super Mario 64.
Okay.
So this one is actually kind of a family memory for me too, in a different way though. I came home on my birthday from school, and I walked home, which I was really annoyed about because it's my birthday. And I'm like, why am I walking home? And I walked in, and my dad was sitting in the living room on the recliner, and it was right in front of the TV. He was like so close. He had bought me an N64 for my birthday, and he couldn't wait. He was too excited, so he opened it. And he was playing a game he rented, some Star Wars game. But that night, I just dove into Mario 64, and it was just... I don't know, man. It was revelatory to have been playing Mario as a side-scroller and then have him in a 3D world. It was awesome. It was just awesome. One of the best games still to this day ever made, and completely revolutionized 3D gaming.
Okay. So now we're at fourth, right?
That was my fourth, yes.
Okay, now we're on my fourth. Okay.
Yes.
So that was not on my list.
Ah.
For my fourth pick, I'm surprised this one has made it this far because it is one of the most popular games
World
to
of
ever
Warcraft.
exist. Nope.
No?
I am going with The Legend of Zelda.
Which one, though?
The
You just
Legend
taking-
of Zelda.
Like OG?
Yes.
NES
oh,
Legend of
straight
Zelda?
OG.
Wow.
Straight OG.
So you wouldn't...
Straight OG.
So that leaves like Ocarina of Time on the table for me, though.
Sure.
Wow.
Yeah, you can choose whatever you like, but Legend
Wow.
of Zelda is the absolute OG. I'm taking it. That you can't get any more nostalgic than the OG Zelda game.
I mean, I gotta respect the pick. I respect it. And I'm not gonna take Ocarina. It's on my list, but I'm not gonna take it. This last pick is really hard for me because it's... So I've already said World of Warcraft out loud. So for my fifth pick here, I'm torn between a few games. But I really want to focus on the nostalgia thing. And I got into WoW pretty late. I got into WoW in Wrath. So I don't think that qualifies for the nostalgia thing for me. And I think the other two I've got in there just because like kind of good memories, but not really nostalgia. So I am going to go with Punch-Out. The OG for the NES. Mike Tyson's Punch-Out for my fifth and final pick.
I feel like I recognize that name for sure, but I don't like have like it's weird because I definitely recognize that name, and I think that maybe like, well, I wouldn't say that's even where like age, but maybe interest comes into play. But I feel like
Sure.
we were both gamers.
Sure.
So
It probably
I
says
actually-
something about Punch-Out's staying power that it's an NES game that you've heard of that you haven't been exposed to directly. So the fact that you've heard about it
Yeah.
probably says
Pretty
something about
sure.
the nostalgia factor, right?
Pretty sure I've heard of it. There are 4 games that I am
I had
just
4 as well.
absolutely tied
I had 4 as
for
well.
right now. And I think there's one, so you already took your 5 picks.
I did.
I think there's one I can knock out here because I've already like chosen a kind of Mario game.
Sure. I took
'Cause I
2,
was
fair,
gonna-
in fairness.
I was gonna go maybe Mario Kart 64,
That was one of my final 4.
which is a good pick, but since I chose a Mario game, even though it's Super Smash Bros, so it's not exactly the same, I almost chose Super Mario over Super Smash Bros as well, but...
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna mark out Mario Kart.
Okay. I
Okay.
think it's a worthy
I-
pick, but there could be something
I'm
more.
not picking it. I'm not picking
No,
it.
I know. I'm saying there could be something better. Let's see.
And of course, I'm not going Pokemon Snap because I already took a Pokemon game.
Right? So what does that leave? I feel like you got World of Warcraft and something else there.
World of Warcraft ain't even on my list, brother.
Really?
It's not even on my list.
Wow. Are we looking at
I-
GoldenEye?
Let me think here. Let me think. For my 5th and final pick, I am going to go with maybe I'll go. Okay, I will go with my personal favorite of the 3 then, as opposed to maybe picking what I think is the most popular.
Okay.
I am going to go with Spyro.
Okay.
Spyro.
I
the one.
I think there are certain people that would resonate with, and oddly enough, I actually think maybe coincidence, but females maybe, because my wife loves Spyro. My
See-
cousin's wife loves Spyro. I know a lot of people who bought Spyro on their Switch for their wives.
I almost. So my final three. Well, actually, I also have Pac-Man on here, but I decided not to go with that one.
Okay.
Yeah, Pac-Man's on here, but I have Crash Bandicoot, Spyro, and Sonic the Hedgehog.
So I had.
almost went Sonic. 'Cause
I probably
loved
would have
Sonic
gone.
too.
I actually think neither one of us taking Sonic is probably an oversight.
Yeah, like, well, because I sat there and I looked at it and I stared at it and I was like, I actually don't know which one was my favorite between Sonic and Spyro. I feel like I put a lot of time into both, but I definitely put the least amount of time into Crash Bandicoot.
For sure.
You know what was an oversight, maybe?
What?
Donkey Kong.
So I have Donkey Kong Country on my list.
Yeah, Donkey
it's
Kong.
Great franchise. I just think that, like, I don't know, for nostalgia for me, I think that I think I really stuck true to me. Warcraft 3, as much as I did pick it in first in part because of you, it also is the game I have the absolute most hours sunk into in my entire life.
Yeah.
Because of Dota. So like I knew that amount of crossover, us both loving that game, I was like, I'm just gonna take it.
See, I didn't stay true to myself. I stayed true to myself, not in terms of what I've played, but things that did like relate to me. If I wanted to stay more true to myself, I probably would have chosen Snap over Stadium. Because I think I guess it didn't really matter, but I remember Snap more vividly, even though I think I played Stadium with my brother. But Snap we did as a family. Like, my parents loved sitting down with us and playing Pokemon games with us. They loved it, and they loved Pokemon Snap. So that would have maybe been a better pick for me, at least, than Stadium.
That's almost why I took Mario
Stadium is a
Kart
good
64.
one.
We played that with my uncle a lot.
Yeah, Mario Kart,
Yeah.
for sure.
My Uncle
We had
Wes
more
would come in and
crossover
play
than
until
maybe
he
we
lost.
thought.
Oh yeah, we had way more crossover than I thought. Your
but
Legend
Super
of Zelda
Smash Bros.
pick, bro. That was I was like, does she really mean just number 1, like the original?
Yeah. Oh, you know what oversight I just realized I should have chosen over Stadium, actually?
I'm just shocked you didn't choose like Pokemon Red or Blue.
Me too. That's what I'm saying.
That's what I'm
should've
saying.
chosen-
I was like, what?
I
What is?
should've Pokemon Yellow, I think.
That's what
was
my
maybe
shock
first
factor
one.
was from. That's what my shock
Pokemon
factor was
Yellow.
from. Was that you chose Pokemon Stadium, not like even.
We should do another one of these.